Being a K-pop idol seems glamorous, but it's not all award shows and photo shoots. Fans have done everything from attempted kidnapping to actually hurting idols. Yunho from TVXQ once drank poisoned orange juice and needed to be hospitalized. It took him years to work through the shock he experienced. Idols practically don't have any private lives. Dating isn't allowed, and often managers will take their phones away.
Isn't allowed. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Justin Burke. I'm a vocal coach, and I am here with the talented... That sun is so bright. Jeez, I can't even see. Lala. Lala. Oh, there she is. Lala. On the leaves, just you and me.
I won't let down. No, you can count on me when nightmares come.
We're on a mission to teach the world how to sing, and I made you a free singing lesson. Over 200,000 people in over 100 countries have taken that free lesson, and literally everyone that actually does it, here's an immediate improvement in their voice. So definitely go give that a try after this reaction. I just have to tell you, like, if you have a dream of being a K-pop idol, if you have a dream of being a singer, being confident in your voice, take it from us. You can do it.
You can do it.
You can absolutely do it. It doesn't have to take you that long.
I don't care what you've heard or how you feel about yourself. Oh, I thought you were cutting me out. I was like, okay.
No, never. I would never.
I was like, forget I ever said
Oh my gosh, no. Jeez.
I just want to encourage you that no matter how you feel about like where you currently are, if you feel like you could never get past the level that you're at right now, I promise you, with hard work, dedication, and just believing in yourself, I promise you, those three things, it is going to require hard work. You have to be dedicated to it. You have to want it enough to put in the work, but you also have to believe in yourself and believe that, like, if we could do it, if we could start from literally like zero and be able to, tell you now confidently that you can do it, then
anybody can do it.
Anybody can do it.
And there's exercises that really can speed up the process that honestly I wish I had.
Me too.
Would have saved me so much time and effort. So anyway, got your back on that. Go give that free lesson a try after this reaction. But until then, are you ready?
Are you ready, mister? Just kidding.
No one's ever asked me that. I'm always the one to ask, are you ready?
I wondered. I
don't know. I am.
Suddenly I'm confused.
Let's do it.
Being a K-pop idol seems glamorous, but it's not all award shows and photo shoots. There is a dark side to fame, and all idols pay the price. The question is it worth it? K-pop idols face some very real threats every single day that most of us couldn't even imagine. Sasaeng fans are without a doubt one of the worst and most dangerous parts of being an idol. These obsessive fans have no boundaries when it comes to getting their favorite idol's attention, no matter what the cost is. They don't care whether the attention they get is good or bad, as long as they get a reaction from them. In the past, Sasaeng fans have done everything from attempted kidnapping to actually hurting idols. Yunho from TVXQ once drank poisoned orange juice and needed to be hospitalized. It took him years to work through the shock he experienced. The idols who were lucky enough not to be poisoned or hurt still experience years of harassment and stalking from Sasaengs, including having their flight information and phone number sold. Can you imagine how scary it would be to have a stranger follow you to the bathroom or waking up to someone taking a picture of you? As if Sasaeng fans weren't enough to deal with, idols also have to endure bullying. Netizens are way too opinionated. Former FX member Sully, who sadly passed away in 2019 at the age of 25, was a regular target for netizen hate. She was always attacked for her style choices, including not wearing makeup or her no-bra fashion. Even when she opened up about feeling like she was alone in the world, haters said that she was attention-seeking and wasting her life. This never-ending bullying led this soft, sensitive angel to take her life at the end of last year, and fans are still trying to get over it. Sadly, it's not just netizens who take part in this bad behavior. In-group bullying is a very real problem and has got a lot of attention recently. AOA's former member Mina shared that she was bullied by the group's leader Jimin for 10 years. She confessed that the years of pain led her to self-harm, but that she continues living her life for her mom. Crazy Grace uploaded a video to her YouTube channel that explains some girl groups don't like each other because of the way they're treated, including their line distributions and the opportunities given to each member. Why can't we all just be nice to each other, y'all? Of course, Sasaengs and bullying aren't the only issues that come with the job. As an idol, you are required to work long hours. They work without rest, pushing their bodies and minds to the limit, and they work like that from a very young age. In fact, Twice's leader Jihyo just celebrated 15 years with Joybe Entertainment. She's a 97 liner, which means that she's only 23 years old. Idols usually join an agency when they're in elementary or middle school and live in a dorm away from their families. During the years they spend as trainees, future idols work from morning to night. They study dance, take voice lessons, and even take foreign language classes. When they finally get to rest for a few hours, it can be as late as 1 a.m. And if you think it gets better once an idol has an established career, think again. JTCC's Prince Mak revealed that he would start working before sunrise and keep going until after midnight. If trainees are blessed enough to debut and eventually make it big, their agencies have a tendency to overwork. BTS, for example, are worldwide superstars. As they get more popular every year, they just keep getting busier. Between releasing new music and promoting all over the world, our kings of K-pop barely get a moment to themselves. Seriously, one moment they're in Korea and the next thing you know, they're on television in the United States. Thankfully, Big Hit Entertainment takes good care of them and makes sure that they get vacation time. But considering how hard they work, it almost seems like it's not enough. Other idols aren't so lucky. Former FX member Crystal has fainted multiple times on stage and was even hospitalized for exhaustion. Former EXO member Chris Wu even opened up about being overworked, saying that one of the biggest problems he had was the super intense schedules and the fact that there was no freedom whatsoever. Many idols don't get to have a single day off. Because idols are massively overworked, their health can take a hit. Some idols live with conditions that make their extreme jobs hard to do. BTS's V has shared that he suffers from some type of rash that appears whenever he gets too hot. It can even be more serious, leading to the person who has it to get dizzy or have trouble breathing. The condition isn't life-threatening, but knowing how hard he works and how hot he can be when dancing, armies are always worried about him. Hyuna is another idol who has to live with a medical issue. Basically, the illness she has makes her body react to extreme stress by fainting. It was so serious that she even left the Wonder Girls and quit idol life for a while to focus on getting better. Aside from physical health, there have been many idols who took hiatuses because of mental health reasons, including Oh My Girl's Jiho, Monsta X's Juhani, and Luna's Haser. Twice's Mina took a long break from the group's busy schedule, which started last summer and only really ended around the beginning of this year.
22.
Her agency shared that she has been
I mean, the pressure that they have to go through is so young.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like...
That's so real.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't even realize that, but when you do sign, like, and you can have great commercial success as a vocalist, as a singer without signing. A lot of people that have done it, you know, and that is, there's totally a way to go about it and go full time without having to sign. But of those that do sign, you know, especially these older contracts or what seem like these K-pop contracts, is you lose your freedom.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it is you lose a lot of your freedom, and there's even like some like kind of mafia style tactics, I guess you could say, where they kind of enforce that you play by their rules.
Yeah.
And that's a real thing. You know,
Right.
and we've both experienced it, you know, being out in LA a lot and being in the industry for a long time. I know you've experienced it
Yeah.
big time.
You do feel like you, like, in a sense, lose your freedom. You're controlled,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
And then I remember whenever I was signed, I asked myself the question a few times, like, do I really want this? Because this is not what I thought.
Yeah.
It's not what I thought it was. I mean, and I didn't get to their level, but you know, I can only
From sun
imagine
up
the
to sundown,
intensity.
too, and like-
yeah, it's like very little, just always feeling exhausted and having a really tight schedule. I mean, there were aspects about it that I liked.
Could sometimes almost take the fun out of the art and the fun out of singing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Let's keep going. This is crazy. I mean, it's like we're here being like, yep, this can definitely happen.
from an anxiety disorder, and that they would be putting her health first. Mina did her best to work when she could, and she took part in the filming for the Feel special MV, which made Wences everywhere cry tears of joy. But when she made her first stage appearance in July 2019, K-pop fans around the world were so happy that they made a hashtag Proud of You Mina trend on Twitter worldwide. Even though fans are happy that agencies are allowing their artists to rest and recover, the thought in everyone's mind is, what can agencies do better in the first place? So, with all that in mind, it's pretty obvious that being an idol is a stressful job. I mean, survival reality shows really let the public see how hard their job is. One mistake can mean the end of your career or lead to harsh criticism from netizens.
Yeah.
Khan broke down crying because his friend's microphone didn't work correctly in Produce X101. Depending on how successful they are, they're also given different foods and even have strict rules for when they can use the bathroom. Trainees are even tested on their personalities in a way that almost seems abusive. Like, for the first season of Produce 101, the show played a mean prank on the girls, having a PD accidentally break a camera in hopes that the girls would take responsibility for it. They did, even at the risk of owing thousands of dollars that they didn't have, and possibly even getting kicked out of their agency as a punishment. The pressure to be perfect all the time is such a major stress factor. Even our precious Mochi Jimin has broken down crying, thinking that he didn't do well during a live performance. But take my word for it, he's always perfect, and that's on period. Whether the groups are known worldwide or not, many idols don't get to spend time with their families. The late Guhara once said that she never had time to see her family. And more recently, IU shared that her parents worry about her because of her busy schedule. So she lies to them about getting enough sleep so they don't worry about her. During the filming of Produce 101 Season 2, the trainees were so happy to be able to talk to their families on the phone that a lot of them broke down crying. It's extra hard when idols are from countries other than Korea, like BLACKPINK's Lisa, who is from Thailand. Lisa is super close to her parents, and because she lives in Korea, she doesn't get to see them as much as she wants to. Just talking about her parents is enough to make our soft cinnamon roll cry. We love to see her happy too. So when she was reunited with her dad at the end of last year, the moment even trended on social media. As if not being able to see their families wasn't bad enough, idols practically don't have any private lives. Dating isn't allowed, and often managers will take their phones away.
Isn't allowed.
Pop's way explained that if a group is really popular, their agency might not let them go out.
They didn't want us having phones. Or, I mean, yeah, we weren't really allowed to have phones. They didn't want any contact. They didn't want us having contact with our families because it took the focus off of what we were doing in their minds. They thought that it was best we didn't have a way to contact our family. It's just so sad. I mean, this is so real. People don't understand that there is a darkness, definitely a dark side to the industry.
Seriously, I mean, this really happens even still, especially like in LA, and there can be just a darkness over the people who are in charge of putting people on. The good news is that you don't have to play by those rules anymore.
Right.
The good news is that you can work on your voice.
True.
You can develop this talent, and you can release music yourself on your own, and it's not difficult anymore at all. And you can post a cover on social media and blow up if you have the voice, if you have the skills. You no longer need people to put you on in the same way. But I mean, it just is.
It's just so sad to see this, because I mean, it's one thing when you've gone through it, but then I can't imagine being at their level, like what they go through.
Yeah,
I was nowhere near that, but just to think, like, it's such a common thing that happens to so many artists, and that's why a lot of them, like, they disappear and you don't hear, and then you kind of wonder at one point, like, where did they go? They kind of fell off. And then they try to come back and it's just not the same. But like, I just, just to think that people are taking their lives because they're so unhappy, and everyone, I mean, they're like little puppets, they're being controlled. Everything they say, they do, down to what they wear. And it's just like, that's not the way it's supposed to be, No,
and you would think that's kind of the crazy thing, because it's like you'd think they'd have it all. You know what I mean? You'd think that the money that comes with that, the fame that comes with that they would be happy, but it's like at the expense of your freedom. It's not worth it, and that's a lot of times what happens when people sign. And so it's so sad to see this, but I think as more of this gets out, I think it's hopefully they're going to make changes in it and in improve the system. But the beautiful thing is that you don't even need the system. It's like if you have it's a skill-based industry now. It can be, if you have the skill to really go big on a TikTok, go big on YouTube, go big on these different things, then you can live out your dream on your own terms. Yeah. You can also do this too if that's your thing, but you don't have to anymore. So I think that's really cool as well.
Would end up having secret phones to keep in touch with their friends or family.
Secret cell phones.
Way's agency was so strict that when her dad came to visit her at the company on her birthday, they made him leave. Even if idols do
happened here.
Their relationships don't usually last long because they don't have time to see each other. The breakup between singer Ui and actor Lee Sung-yeon in 2017 shocked fans because they seemed to be going strong. After their breakup, Pledis Entertainment released a statement explaining that they're still friends, but they had just drifted away due to their schedules. Even when companies allow their artists to go on vacation and have personal time, there's no guarantee they'll be able to enjoy it in peace. When BTS took a break in August of 2019, their agency Big Hit Entertainment had to ask fans to respect the members' privacy. But anti-fans couldn't leave Jimin alone and even started gross, untrue rumors about him during his Paris vacation. Like, damn, can't the haters let our Mochi breathe? And for all they go through, many idols still get paid a lot. Unless they're huge hitmakers with a worldwide fan base, some idols can't even afford groceries. During an appearance on Village Survival, The 8, former Momoland member Yeonu shocked viewers everywhere. When the host asked what she would do if she suddenly had 10 million won, which is about $8,300 US, she said that she would buy food over her grocery budget. She also shared that at the time, even though Boom Boom was a huge hit, the group hadn't been paid by the agency. Momoland isn't the only group who took forever to receive payment. Even though they were disbanded for 6 weeks, by the time the news broke in the middle of February, X1 members had not been paid and continued to work for free. CJENM made almost $75,000 just from mobile voting. Other idols that have never been paid for their work include the boy group The Rose, girl group Secret, and the
Rose
Intuit member Sunghyun. Sadly, even idols that get paid don't get paid for what they're worth. Former JGCC member Henry Prince Mack shared that his company kept 80% of the group's earning, and that the 20% was the leftover that was split between JGCC's 7 members. After doing the math, he thinks that he was paid for about $2 a day for his work.
That happens all the time.
She earned exactly $0 from the music and roughly $500 from other activities before deciding to go independent. If you think that her faves get paid for attending the end of the year award shows, think again.
Before she decided to go independent, again, people are waking up. There's a new way to go about this, where you have freedom, you have control, and you get to live your dreams still and do what you love, and you're not controlled by people.
They don't get paid for being there, unless they're performing. But what they get isn't even enough to pay the ride to get there. These are the hard things that many K-pop idols go through to follow their hearts and their dreams. So I want to know what you guys think. Is all of this worth it, becoming a K-pop idol? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Bye!
So what do you think? Is it worth it to be a K-pop idol?
I don't think so, to be honest with you. I mean, I remember it just takes me back. It takes me back to a time of like feeling like I could never get an opportunity like what I had again. And so I think a lot of artists think that way. They think like, well, this might be my only chance. What if I never get another opportunity like this? It's like a once in a lifetime type of thing. But again, like you said, the music industry is changing. Record labels are not doing as well as they used to, because now people are going independent, and they're realizing that everything is, your social media presence is everything, and honestly, there's just there's another way to go about it, like you said, to where you don't have to be dependent on a label, and it's just honestly, just seeing that just kind of made me just like switched my mood. Like it's sad. It's so sad to see people like I said it earlier, but taking their lives and then not able to pay for their food, and it just that's so sad. It's so unfortunate.
And I mean, on the one hand, it's like you don't want to take away from the effort and the time that they're putting into going after their dream. And so, of course, we respect that 100%. And we're not trying to, anybody that would want to, audition for like a big K-pop agency, go for it. There's people in Singer that are going to do that, and we're working towards that. And that's great. It's all dependent on what you want, because you can get huge fame. But there's also a way to go about it. You might not have as big of fame, but there's a way to go about singing where like you can have freedom, and you can also maybe enjoy your life a little bit more, and I mean, if you're on a mission and the agency is like your mission, then you can sacrifice for that mission, and that's totally okay. But like, we also want to encourage you that there's another way to go about it, and Lala's been through something exactly like that, and just how intense that can get. Maybe you can share more on another video.
Yeah, for sure. Because
she has so much knowledge and so much to share on the industry. But I mean, the good news is that now Lala is able to release her music how she wants. She's able to sing and be free. And it's like, for me, at least, always going back to the question of is it worth it? I always love my freedom, and I would love to do what I love for a living and have my freedom, than be like super worldwide famous, but be controlled and give up my freedom. In reality, is you can still reach as many people as you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
Independent as well, but
absolutely.
Yeah, that brought back some memories.
Yeah,
for both
for
of
me,
us. Especially for you, because I know Lala's really can relate to that in so many ways, and just the toll that that can put on somebody mentally, even someone as strong as Lala, you know.
Thank
And I
you.
mean, you were much younger, but
Well, and I was just gonna say too, it's like, you know, I had to learn when after I walked away from that opportunity, that I had to look at it and say, okay, like I got to take the good with the bad. I learned a lot. I gained a lot of experience that honestly money cannot pay for.
Yeah.
But if I could go back, I would have like really stood my ground on certain things that that I wasn't going to sway on. Like they're just like, even down to like the clothing like they had me wear. Like that wouldn't have been my first choice. There was just certain things that I wasn't comfortable doing, and because I felt like I didn't really have a choice, because I didn't. It was like I didn't like the thought of having to compromise
who
you know
are.
And I feel
Yeah.
like at some point everyone has to be in the industry, and maybe on that level you have to make some type of a compromise. And for me, it was like, it's not worth it. I believe that I could still make an impact, and a lot of that is just really like, how passionate are you? And you said it, like your mission. Like I've always known my mission, so it's like, you know, whether I reach millions of people or hundreds of thousands or just even the one, I look at it like, if I can just reach somebody with the music, then it makes it worth it.
Makes
But
it worth it. Absolutely. And it just, I don't know, you can also be a full-time singer and love your life and love your craft and love what you do, and not have to be in the industry.
Right.
And we're both doing it.
Yeah.
And we can tell you that that's definitely a route, and it's
Right.
based off skill. You know, it's based off of not who you know, and not
Right.
like having to compromise to this person so that they can give you this opportunity. You don't have to do any of that. You know, it's just based off your skill of singing. And there's a new way to go about it now. So anyway, this has been so long, but yeah, seriously, thank you, God, absolutely. Tons of love for you all, and we'll see you in the next video. And of course, if you want to get started, the free lesson is down in the description. If you want to check that out, it really will improve your voice and get you started on your singing journey. Because again, if your mission is to sign with an agency, do it. Go for it and sacrifice for your mission. You always got to
Right.
sacrifice for the mission.
Absolutely.
That's great.
there's always sacrifice.
But you can also, if you look at that and that turns you off, then you can also do it independently, and it's based on skill. So regardless, you need that skill of
Yes.
singing. Tons of love for you
Preach.
guys. You know I can go off.
Better preach.
You know I can go off. All right, tons of love. Peace. But for your eyes, scare the stars above. I'll spend all that I have to keep you up. Yes, I'll be there for you.
I'll be there. I won't let down. No, you can count